take you back in the 1930s, and we're going to introduce you to Thomas Bass Waller. In his short 39 years, he wrote over 400 fantastic songs about living and loving and leaving them. And, honey, we're only going to sing 250 of those puppies for you tonight. So sit back, relax, and we're the lamest behaving. And I am, honey. You buy that? Yeah. Well, like that corner. Truly a Midwestern quartet. How many of you are familiar, or no, not familiar with Ambiance? That didn't sound good. How many of you? Well, it's to be a real long night for both of us. The Alzheimer's has kicked in about 4 o'clock, and I don't even know where I am, much less what's going to come out of my mouth. So we'll just kind of go around the corner and down the bend together. Anyway, we're truly a Midwestern quartet, as the two of the girls here are from St. Louis, Missouri. And she's from Chicago. You can clap her on. Yeah. And I'm from Illinois. Chicago is definitely in Illinois. Now, as far as we're concerned, downstate. Well, anyway, how many of you have seen Ambiance perform before? Well, it's the same old stuff, so if you got any place to go, now's the time to do it. And those of you who are civilians, you haven't been broken in yet, you haven't spent an evening with Ambiance? Fats Waller wrote so many different kinds of melodies. He wrote a lot of, bless your nasty cough. Come in and make all of us sick tonight, is that the deal? They're looking up. We're not used to having people quite this close. I don't know if she thinks she's Marilyn Monroe or what, you know? Got a wind fan out there? Oh, by the way, are there ceiling fans? Is there like a real high place up here, like people way up there? Is there another layer of it? Couldn't afford the good seats, huh? Down here give a whole new term, meaning to the term ceiling fans. Well, it wasn't worth going back to. Okay, we'll just blunder along, okay? We'd like to do a little tune that Fats wrote. It's kind of a ballad, and it's called Keeping Out of Mischief Now, and we feature our tenor, Shelly Sweet-Rubenic. Don't even go to a movie show if you are not at my side. I just stay home by my radio, but I'm satisfied. All my burden days are gone. On the level now, keeping out of mischief now. Really am in love, and I'm through playing with fire. Baby, it's you whom I desire. All the world can plainly see. You're the only one for me. I have told them in advance they can't bring up the romance. Living up to every vow. Keeping out of mischief now. Don't you know I'm keeping out of mischief now? Really am in love, and I have told them in advance they can break up our romance. Living up to every vow. Keeping out of mischief now. Keeping out of mischief. Keeping out of mischief now. Really am in love and all. Keeping out of mischief Well, I'd like to introduce the girls in the quartet to you. To my far right, this is Shelly Sweet, and as I said, she's Sweet-Rubenic. It's kind of a little tough to remember that. She's kind of a newlywed. She's had, since we've seen those of you who are friends here in Wichita a couple of years ago, Shelly's had a very interesting 2 years, as a matter of fact, and we've enjoyed watching it. Been a lot of victims along the way, but anyway, she's got a good one this time. We like to refer to him as the Polish Prince. He's about this high. I'm sorry, honey, that's the height.
Oh, just think how much fun I have.
Yes, I see. Well, we're just going to dance on around that. Because the mind is gone. But anyway, and they had just a small, intimate wedding. There were 6,000 of their closest friends. I'm sure many of you were invited. And then further on down the year, she also graduated from college. And she's been our resident college student. In just a short 12 years, the girl got her diploma. And, yeah, really. And this year's degree was in communication. Now, for any of you who have ever tried to communicate with a tenor, much less Shelly, well, you work on it. It'll be interesting for her to see. Maybe later on in the evening you could try to reach her. We haven't. And to my left, this is Sandi Wright. To my left is Sandi Wright. Anyway, and Sandy's from the St. Louis area, and Sandi works with the Red Ribbon Campaign. She's their national director of their Red Ribbon Campaign, which deals with trying to help children get away from drugs and alcohol and have them lead a drug-free life. This little cutie pie back here, our bassist, is Diane Huber, and Diane is from the St. Louis area. And her claim to fame is 3 of the most fantastic, good-looking boys and a wonderful husband. And Diane has had a very interesting life. She and her brothers and sisters were raised in the Catholic faith, and she kind of runs her family kind of with a pretty tight hand because she had the sister where she went to school was Sister Mary Charles Bronson. Hardcastle, and like I said, I'm right in the middle of central Illinois. I live out there on a farm, and I do have a job, as a matter of fact. I work in a nuclear power plant. I don't glow in the dark, though, however, unless you'd like me to. Because we're just going to snort right on into a ballad, and it's a very tender ballad, and this will be a joy, I'm sure. I just found these love letters. They were stuck in the back of the closet, and they were in this box, and they were tied with this beautiful, beautiful peach ribbon. I thought it was a very strong ribbon, and that I had put these away in a safe, safe place. Here in my hand I'm holding stories of days of old, keepsakes of memory. No one knows what they mean to me. Oh, faded and worn, fingered and torn, just a bundle of old love letters. I kiss each one and know I'm pretending. It's a beautiful place with an unhappy ending. 2 a.m. And I know I should just tear these things up and throw them away. But you know, as I turn the pages and I run my fingers across the words that you wrote, I can still hear your laughter, and I can still feel your touch. Lord, why does it still have to hurt so much? And the loneliness that surrounds me in this room tonight is so thick. You could cut it with a knife. Fun. I always think of my ex-husband. And it's hard to keep from laughing all the way through that. Oh, by the way, those of you who do not know about Ambiance, and you maybe don't understand the Queens of Harmony title, in our organization back in the early 40s, when the gals got together and decided they wanted to sing four-part harmony, at that point in time, one of the greatest honors in the world you could bestow on a lady was that she could be queen for a day, queen for a minute would have been swell back then. And so, because it was a symbol of honor, it was taken by our organization. These crowns are valued by every queen, every set of queens that come through every year that win their international competition. And they've been kind of interesting to wear. You have to be very careful where you go with your crown. When you first win this, you want to wear it everywhere. At the mall, you know, and it makes a very interesting conversation at church. Anyway, when we won in Philadelphia in 1986, and it was such a wonderful night for us. We had on sparkle sequin dresses, you know, from the shoulders all the way to the floor, the kind that if it rained and you got wet, it'd rust up and you wouldn't go anywhere. And we had these long rhinestone earrings on, and of course we had been awarded the crowns, and we had roses, and they had taken us out to eat at a little place in Philadelphia called Bookbinders. Great place to eat. We had a wonderful time. They had taken us in a stretch limo. And so they came back a little bit later after we had eaten. They were going to pick us up. And so we're standing on the street corner in Philadelphia with, you getting the idea here? With full stage makeup, sparkle earrings, and these crowns, you know, and we're standing, and we're just beaming, you know. And this is a true story. A guy and his wife were walking along behind us, and he leaned over to her, and he says, well, for sure it weren't no beauty contest. There weren't a one of them that won it. So the crowns have been a joy to travel with, too, and that's a whole nother story. I'm going to check in and see, just like you, what's next. Oh, something's coming. Yeah, but I don't want to know what's the song. That's the name of it. Oh, we're going to sing Something's Coming. We'd like to do a little, I told you, the Alzheimer's and around the bend. We'd like to do a little tune for you from West Side Story. See, I remembered that. I just don't remember who I'm singing with. And we'd like to feature our baritone, Sandi Wright, singing Something's Coming. Who knows? There's something due any day. I will know right away, soon as it shows. You make them cannonball and down the sky, go luminous, dive, dive to the rose. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block, on the beach, under a tree. I got a feeling there's a miracle due, gonna come true, coming to me. Could it be? Yes, it could. Something's coming, something good. If I can wait, something's coming. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be great. With a click, with a shock, phone will jingle, door will knock. Open the latch, something's coming, don't know when, but it soon catch the moon, one and a catch. Around the corner, on whistling down the river. Come on, deliver to me. Will it be? Yes, it will. Baby, just like a woman still. It'll be there. Come on, something, come on in. Don't be shy, meet a guy, pull up a chair. There is a man, and something great is coming soon. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I feel the adrenaline, and something great, something new any day. I will know right away. Only just out of reach, down the block, on the beach, maybe tonight, maybe we are notorious for dressing alike, as they are in the Spebs. When you have a chorus, blow that nose, puppy. Get down there, get to it. Anyway, so we all just, we dress alike. And as you noticed, we all went home with the same fabric and the same pattern. Does that tell you how well we get along? But we all agreed to meet here tonight, and it all worked. So we were doing really well. We all kind of looked at each other. The first time we wore these was the 1st of June, and we were fortunate enough to be invited to sing in Carnegie Hall. And it was interesting. We're all standing backstage, and everybody's dragging her dress out of the closet, and we're all going, okay, that's not bad. Okay, that's not bad. We go out on stage, we don't even know who we are. Who are these people? So it's been kind of an interesting experience. Let's see, what else did I want to share with you? What's next? Okay. Let's see. As we travel back and forth across the United States, we run into all sorts of strange individuals. Most of them I'm singing with. So it's been kind of neat, though, now that we have 3 in the quartet that are happily married. So they're all on the lookout there to find me a special fella. And so when we went to Alaska, everybody on the airplane had told us, they said, hey, you're going to the right place. Alaska's it's the perfect place. There's plenty of guys out there. He says, but what the girls told us on the plane was that the odds were good, but the goods were real odd. And they were right. I mean, anytime, you know, the guy that comes up to ask you out when you go out in public like that wears an animal skin on his head and is holding a six-pack of beer and he's drinking it all at once. If I wanted that, I could stay right here at home, you know? We'd like to do a little tune at Fats wrote when they were talking about rent parties back in Harlem. They'd all get together, they'd throw a quarter in the hat as you came in the door, and you'd party all weekend. This is it.
They have a new expression along the Harlem way that tells you when a party is 10 times more than gay. To say that things are jumping, leaves not a single doubt that everything is in full swing when you hear somebody shout. This joint is jumping, it's really jumping.
Come in fast and check your ass.
This joint is jumping, the piano's bumping, the dance is bumping. This here spot is more than hot. In fact, the joint is jumping. Just check weapons at the door. Be sure to pay your quarter. Turn your leather on the floor. Grab anybody's daughter. The room is rocking. The neighbors knocking. We're all bumps when the wagon comes. I mean, this joint is jumping.
Yes, sir, honey, as fast as the light, he'd come into town and he'd get that piano out and we would boogie all night in Wichita. What do you think? Oh, my honey. Wait, what did you put in my drink? This never popped like I asked for. I don't think so. Say, which one of you cats did pay your quarter to get in here? Oh, baby, was that you? I'm not worried about this water. I'm gonna dance, I dream butter. Hey, that is the man you were talking to now, you. Leave alone. Do you understand what I'm saying? You hussy.
Well, this joint is jumping. It's really jumping. Now every move is on its toes. I mean, this joint is jumping. Well, no time for talking. It's time for walking. Grab a jug and cut the rug. I mean, this joint is jumping. Just itch, pick, beer and gin. There's plenty in the kitchen. Who's that just get in? Just look the way he's switching. Don't mind the hour, 'cause I'm in power. Well, I got bail if I go to jail. I mean, this joint is jumping.
Don't you give that policeman your right name, honey.
No. The others are thumping, the dancers are bumping, the roof is rocking, the neighbors are knocking. This joint is jumping. This joint is jumping. This jumping joint is going wild. It's going wild. Yeah.
We mentioned to our arranger, David Wright, thank you. Do you wish you had such service?
She's been bossing me around for 20 years.
Shame she doesn't listen. More like 30 years, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, now that I looked at you, I can remember that.
Can you remember that? See, at least there's an excuse for my brain problems. It's making you uncomfortable. It's too much like home, isn't it? Makes me think of my son. He's on his way to college, finally. He's my baby. He weighs 260 pounds, 6'2", 45 years old. Anything? Oh, I wish he was 40. Anyway. So about 2 or 3 years ago, we mentioned to David that we would like to have something a little different. And he said, well, he'd been mulling some stuff over, and he had thought that possibly it would be neat if we would sing a Gershwin tune, and that he had Rhapsody in Blue in mind. And we cited that and mentioned to him that it was indeed an instrumental. He said not to worry. pages later, he came up with the most fantastic arrangement of George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. He put the words to it. They were out of his heart and out of his recollections as his first experiences in New York City as a young grad student coming into Columbia. He had been raised in Tennessee, and he'd been raised in the South, and everything he had was in this little valise that he takes with him to New York City, and he comes into Port Authority. He's both excited and terrified. And from the heart and the pen of David Wright, we try to bring to life for you New York City.
Hear the train passes thundering on. They're roaming past the station wall, bleeding with gravity. The deafening noise gets worse. I'm staring at blank faces, all races, and I discover somebody stole my bird.
Say, honey, I sure hope you had American Express. You should never leave home without it.
Express and how the train clatters, opens its doors and how the crowd scatters like a brigade of marching ants surging out of the ground. Dun, 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 onto the busy corners, merging merry-go-round. Dun, 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 I get away into a tall building. It's a real feeling. Sky where we go to the top story as I behold the next grand glory. I hear the sound. I hear a song in every avenue, bustling, passerby hustling, marketman shouting, little tot pouting, broken heart crying, gentle wind sighing. Music is there in every subway train, roaring, graceful bells soaring, carriage horse flip flop, battery brain drum. Each little sound from every corner is loud. It speaks to me, shouting like I hear the music of the night, rising above the flashing light. I hear the music of the great white way, playing the dazzling glamour of the late night sway. Oh, the blazing up there is hovering up in the air. The distant sound of many songs ascending, mixing and turning into a melody with rhythm and harmony. Till it's suddenly there. The pounding rhythm of the sidewalks and the subways and the avenues and statues in the heart of New York. I feel it from the bustling, unabated, pulsing and convulsing in this ocean of commotion is a part of New York, and it's a part of that rhapsody grand, rising out over this land. The starting jumble is the magic and the majesty, the spirit and the splendor of the town of New York. Ba-ba-ba-ba. I hear a symphony proudly resounding alive with the jive of it. He plays a rhapsody. It sounds the heartbeat of New York.
Ambiance, ladies and gentlemen, ambiance. No, I'm not going to. Surely you don't want to hear another tune. Let's bring her back. Don't you go home and write it out.
I know you're tired of singing, but really. Thank you so much, very much. I want to share a really special thought with you. You know, one of the treats that we have as a quartet is that occasionally we have the opportunity to go into the studio and put our favorite songs down on disc and tape, just so we can share them with you. I started to say vinyl, but that's so passé, you know. At any rate, I would like to tell you that last week we sold our 1 millionth album.
likes to tell you that. However, we've only sold 3. Sandy wouldn't buy one. We will be out in the lobby after the show tonight. We'd like to meet all of you, so could you stand up and say your name? And no, we'd like to meet you. Come out and join us. We have our tapes and cassettes out there. We also will be taking orders for our newest album, which should be out around October, featuring some of the wonderful things for tonight. Well, they're supposed to be wonderful. Thank you.
This is our communications person. Pretty scary. Of course, it's not much better than I've been doing this evening, so I really can't complain. You've been very, very kind to us tonight. And we want you to know that all the arrangements that David Wright does for us, we sing them real close to what he had in mind. We have another new one that we'd like to do for you. We were inspired by a trip to New York City a couple of years ago, and we saw the Phantom of the Opera. And we would like to give to you tonight a medley featuring our tenor, Shelly.